Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, you lovely folks joining me here nice and early over at Marvel Snap Zone. Welcome back for a little more dedicated YouTube content in all things Marvel Snap. Hopefully things are well in your world, much like they are in mine, and remain all across the multiverse. We're here today for something a little bit different. We've got an article series on the website brought to us by the lovely Den CCG that if you enjoy written content you should definitely check out, about decks that make it to infinite in our community every single week. So if you tag us on Twitter, you at us in Discord, or your preferred version of conversation, we like to see those decks that are succeeding and getting you to that infinite rank, and then we want to showcase them to you so other players can perhaps see your successes and try the decks out for themselves. So we always do this in an article for a few weeks now, and we've decided, hey, why not try it as a video series over on YouTube as well, showcase 3 decks that have made it to infinite this week from our community pool, and play one game with each to show you what they look like. We're going to do one deck from each pool this week, so regardless of where you are in your Marvel Snap journey, there will be something in this video for you. One from pool 1, one from pool 2, and one from pool 3. If you are enjoying this YouTube content, you want to see more of it and keep me here chained to my desk, do Marvel Snap Zone a favour, hit that subscribe button for me, turn on notifications to make sure that I'm here forever making Marvel Snap Zone content for you. With all that said and done, we're going to take a look at these decks together and then play them in order one at a time. So, our pool 1 deck for this week, by a user named Cufton. If you want to see their tweet and their original comment, it's available in the article for you. Go check it out. They made it to infinite with movement this week, which is a very, very interesting choice. Movement, traditionally quite a static deck, one that people don't tend to enjoy all that much until they get a little bit further into pool 1. Yeah, a little bit further into pool 2, I should say. It's a very rigid build, and there tends to be maybe 1 or 2 spots available for flexibility, and yet Cufton here seems to have found much more room in his deck that got to infinite, playing cards like Iceman, Shang-Chi, and Blue Marvel, arguably all of which are quite new in this archetype. All of those cards are excellent in the current metagame, and Blue Marvel actually seems very nice if Multiple Man is able to get going and spinning its wheels. The impressive feat here is managing to play them all in the same deck, because normally cards like Forge, or Nightcrawler, or even Miles Morales take those spots, but it seems that they aren't necessary to the deck after all, or at least you don't have to play them and they don't have to slow you down as much as you might think. We're a little curious about Shang-Chi in this one, to be honest, but I think we get the idea. Move it a deck that wants to focus around a very small amount of cards. Multiple Man and Vulture mostly. Craven is a secondary win condition, and when you find those cards, you can simply abuse them and fully focus on moving them as much as possible. However, when you're drawing your support cards, the deck tends to crumble, which means Shang-Chi can be a game winner for you in some scenarios and save a game you couldn't win with your primary game plan. You could retreat instead, sure, but opening the door to potential snaps the opponent might read as a bluff because you didn't get your deck going sounds like a really sweet deal. This is a very, very cool deck, and I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to explore this one in a game with you in just a moment. Our Pool 2 deck this week is one that a lot of you are going to know oh so well at this point. It's a really popular archetype pioneered by a number of large content creators. We're taking a look at the Destroy Dinosaur deck that seems to have a very good level of success over in Pool number 2. This build was submitted to us by Twitter user Pocket Train, I believe. Kind of a known quantity at this point, but some interesting choices here. This one's going to bring back a lot of memories for anyone who played in the early beta. Back then, the gold standard was a deck like this, where Moon Girl was a 3-3, Devil Dinosaur was a 4-0, Nova would grant +2 across the board. The deck then got nerfed into Oblivion, and new archetypes has emerged. But Pocket Train thinks the synergy is still worth it, and is still worth its current cost, and doesn't need much more support than the 3 cards we included just now. On the other hand, this Destroy Core is arguably just one of the most powerful things you can be doing in the game currently, managing the board and creating solid power. Killmonger just a star currently everywhere, potentially a game winner on itself against all those Kazoo decks. And Moon Girl makes a lot of sense with both of these play patterns. You can duplicate Nova and Bucky Barnes to destroy, or simply just create extra copies of Devil Dinosaur to dominate multiple locations. The deck's super powerful, and is seeing a lot of success in Pool 2 right now, and Pocket Train has a list they are very happy with, and I'm very happy to try out. So if you want this deck for yourself, you can of course go and grab it from the description box below for an exportable version as well. Last but not least, the Pool 3 deck that made infinite this week that we want to take a look at is a version of Patriot designed by Shady Soul, which was featured over on Marvel's Snapdeck's Twitter account. Patriot, normally a bit of a one-trick pony kind of card in a way that is attached to this like vanilla archetype. Yeah, every time we research these articles, we find a new way to play Patriot one way or the other. We featured Ultron in the tier list this week, one that kind of focused on buffing those vanilla one-cost units and adding Khazar into the mix. But this is a little bit different. Magic here, allowing for another turn in the game, allowing us one more card draw and a turn with 7 energy. Sera allows us to do more things in one turn, which protects Patriot from cards like Enchantress if we don't have to play it out early, and we can develop our combo in one turn rather than in 2. For example, on turn 7, if we have Sera on the board, we can play Patriot and Onslaught at the same time, or Onslaught and Mystique at the same time, keeping it surprising for the opponent. Lastly, there's a very interesting inclusion of Wave in this deck, a card that I've rarely, if ever, seen in these Patriot shells. I'd guess that it's to be able to play Onslaught ahead of Curve, which frees up turn 6 for Patriot plus Mystique. This way, if we already have Onslaught in hand, but we still need to draw Patriot, we can reverse the natural order we would play them in. And once again, it makes it much trickier for our opponent to know exactly what's coming, although the vanilla cards here will probably give away that Patriot is the core of our deck. So these are the 3 decks that made Infinite this week that we're looking to feature on the channel. If you want just to grab deck lists, go play them for yourselves. They're available in the description box below. But if you're going to hang out with me now, we are going to go play a game with each of these to show you a little bit what they look like. So up first, this movement deck from Cufton. Let's go take a cheeky peek at this one. As you may have noticed if you've watched our previous feature on Move, I am not an aficionado with this deck. I'm actively quite terrible with it. That being said, this start seems pretty good to me. So I'm going to just Iron Fist with the intention of playing multiple man on the right in a moment to kick it over into the center. I'll do my best with this one, even though this archetype melts my brain a bit. Well, that's not great. Well, that's definitely the punish for going mid, I suppose. Sheesh. What do we do about that? I guess we lose a multiple man either way. So I might as well have the one on the far right for Heimdall if we draw it. That's pretty rubbish. Oscorp Tower making me look a bit silly here. Opponent plays out a Swarm, that's fine. Squirrels to every location. Well, we drew the Heimdall. The problem is the squirrels now interfere with this Hulkbuster. I do think we're taking our 50-50. Try and hit the multiple man. We do! Nice. Okay. Okoye. Everything's swapping over in Oscorp Tower. Rather unfortunate for us, but that's the way things are going to break sometimes. Okay, I think we're just playing Vulture here. Vulture on the right, Cloak into the middle. Should let me move Vulture over and then Heimdall all the way, I think. So if I play this Iceman, I don't think I get to move Vulture again anyway, because I'll move these 3 first. So I guess I would rather do this. And then when I Heimdall, I'll move... Yeah, I think this is better. Do this. Opponent Lady Sif's discarding a Nakia, plays an Ant-Man mid. Okay. So Cloak into Sokovia, Iceman to ice something, and then I believe the plan is simply to go move a multiple man over here, and then Heimdall on the right. Jumps up Vulture. I think this is the best that we had. Very nice. Okay. Honestly, showing you a little bit of everything that Move can do there. Multiple Man, Vulture, and Heimdall all doing their thing and picking us up a win with the Pool 1 movement deck. Looking good. Honestly, a pretty great demonstration there of what that's all about. Let's have the Pool 2 deck for the game. Let's have Destroy Dino. Way more familiar with this one than I am Movement, so hopefully we don't balls this one up too much. This is very much more my playstyle, he says, before Subterranea shuffles 5 rocks into his deck. Delightful. I guess I hold this because I have Angela. Maybe I want to buff it with more stuff, but 5 rocks is pretty gnarly. We find Sentinel, that remedies the rock problem somewhat, to be completely honest. So, I think we're just going to Angela left here because we know it's safe. No plays from our opponents so far. Interesting. Atlantis on the right. We do find more rocks. Okay. Well, I think we're going to cable for information here. Probably just going to chuck one of these rocks in the middle as well. We steal a Mysterio. Opponent will Daredevil. Okay. We draw Nova. So looking for a way to destroy really at this point. Outside of that, I think we're just going to be stacking up on things. We really can't Atlantis very well here with this hand anyway. So I think what I'm doing is this. Playing Mysterio Sentinel. I always think these are Yu-Gi-Oh cards on his wrist. I have a problem. Jessica Jones from the opponent. So I think this is some version of Destroyer. These rocks are really just kind of ruining our day. I think we are just playing stuff this turn, honestly. Haven't found Dino, haven't found Moon Girl, haven't found any of the goods. Mostly because of these 5 rocks in our deck, which is pretty unfortunate. Subterranea will do that. More Sentinels in hand. Oh, okay, Hobgoblin's pretty nasty. So if the opponent snaps, I think we retreat because we're obviously doomed. But I think hopefully Chavez mid will get this done. I'm definitely not confident enough to snap, but the real Mysterio is on the left, which makes me think we have a shot here. Nice. Even not drawing the parts of our deck that we were looking to draw to do the thing, we still get a victory, even though our deck is, you know, kind of built around cards that we didn't draw there. So, pull 2, Destroy Dino, keeping the streak alive, even without drawing any of the namesake cards. Okay, so it all falls on the shoulders of our Pool 3 deck to pick us up the 3 for 3 this week. Can Sera Patriot be the third of 3 decks to show you what they're all about? Okay, so interesting start here. Murray Isle is going to start juicing up this Misty Knight, which we can definitely agree is a good thing. We've got some plays on curve here. Brood and Cyclops both pretty reasonable on turn 3, right up until one of them gets Iceman and no longer is. Very much looking for our Patriot here. That's going to be the big... Ooh, Onslaught Citadel is a good one. If we find our Patriot, we're going to be very happy. Bar with no name makes me sad. So I guess I'm just playing Brood into Murray Isle here. Gonna hold the Wasp, I think, for the surprise element. Really gotta find Blue Marvel, Patriot, Sera, something to that effect. Opponent Mantises, which I'm really hoping they didn't hit our Patriot, because it's gonna be very hard to do anything if they did. We draw magic. That's actually really good for us, to be honest. So I'm going to get this Cyclops down into bar with no name, with the intention of magicking it next turn. But I feel like my opponent's snap might suggest they stole our Patriot, which would be a real big sad. They stole the thing. Okay. Well, they might have stolen that with Cable or with Mantis. It's hard to know. We draw Shocker, so we're definitely going to magic the bar this turn. Come on, Patriot or Blue Marble. Really need the juice here. There's only 2 cards left in our deck, so we're going to draw them both, assuming our opponent doesn't steal any more stuff. We'll quickly know what they stole. Get the feeling it might have been Onslaught, actually. Sentinel, sure. Ah, why? Why did they steal our Patriot? Oh, this is bad. We find Sera. Oh my god. Alright, well, Sera mid is the name of the game, I think. We're getting beat by our own deck. Oh no! Opponent has Yondu as well. We're not drawing a card on this last turn of the game. Oh, what a disaster. There is no way out of this. We have no anthems, we have no buffs. Opponent stole all our stuff. Oh my god. No dice. No dice for the 3 for 3. We do not get a win with pool 3 Patriot. I'm not that mad about that, to be honest. That was highway robbery from our opponent. But hey, what can I say? So folks, yeah, these are your 3 decks that we chose to feature from creators and people in the community this week that made Infinite this week. And if you want the list for yourself, go grab them from the article down below. Unfortunately, that's going to be all from me for today. So until next time, I've been HowlingMines, you have been amazing, and I'll see you again very soon for more things here at Marvel Snap Zone. Have a good one.